Do what you wanna do. Say what you wanna say. Be what you wanna be. Come on and do what you wanna do. You know what you want to. What's on your mind? So, are we gonna party? Let's go. Little crazy. Nice and nice. Makes you feel right. Deep. Get down here with me. Do what you wanna do. Do what you say. Be what you wanna be. Do you wanna take me to so sweet? What you got? Let me hear you say. Touch my body. Got it going on. Do what you say, what you wanna say, what you wanna be. What you wanna say, what you wanna be. Do what you want.
Voice through the
Woohoo! Hello, everybody. So great to see so many new faces here. What? This is so awesome. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I guess it might be quite a bit.
Mute you, Cassidy. Julie, so great to have you here. We've got people from all over the place. Gabriella, so great, so great. If you are off camera, although I see many of you are on camera, get on camera because this is about how to stand out. First of all, Karen, the fact that you have a bottle of wine is really awesome. Come on, Dervla, are you here? No, that is so great. Come on, Gabriella. Awesome. Okay, so how to stand out, right? That's what we're starting with today, everybody. And it's so great. Lisa, yay, you made it. So great to see you.
I know my day canceled and I was like, perfect.
And Julie, it's so great to see see you too, because you're coming from, I know Suzanne's program that you just did, and a few other people. Richard, I don't know you, but it's so great to have you here. Jacob, it's so great. And Thomas, so great. So my little thing is falling and dropping, and I'll have to adjust it as we go. I actually hate that. Okay, listen. How to stand out is really the number one thing that we all have to do. It does not matter what industry you're in. You have to know how to stand out to that audience that we all want to attract. So first, and did you guys get my emails? Did you get my emails kind of leading up to this? So really, first, we have to stand out to ourselves. Now, you're going to say, no, that's so weird. I got to just stand out to my audience. But you have to know what are the qualities in you to stand out. So those of you who don't know me, I'm going to introduce myself, that I'm a vocal and performance coach. I work with a ton of actors and artists. You'll see many of the artists are even on here today. Juno, Grammy nominated, actors from Schitt's Creek, actors from musical theater, Mervish Productions. I'm based in Toronto, so Mervish is our version of Broadway. And when we're thinking of standing out in those arenas as a singer, as a dancer, I've worked with dancers from So You Think You Can Dance and World of Dance, just even recently talking to groups of dancers on programs because they're auditioning all the time. Anybody here auditioning? Anyone here actually auditioning for anything, or do you just kind of share and show who you are? Yeah. So the world of auditioning is interesting because you have to stand among hundreds, if not thousands of people live in front of a panel of judges. So we are being judged every single day. If you really believe, Gary V's of the world, or I'm going to actually change this because it's driving me nuts. If you believe in some of the ideas around, there's no judgment or having no expectations or or anything. I mean, that's crazy. There are expectations. There are expectations each and every day on us all the time. If we're putting ourselves out there on social media, how many people are putting themselves out there on social media? You're wanting to be more known, right? Making a real presence. We have to know, what is it about us? Is it all of our personality that we need to share? Or are there just a few qualities of our personality that the audience is definitely going to connect to and relate to more than others? Does this make sense to you guys when I'm talking about that? So if I think about being an actor and I'm planning my role for film or television, I'm going to break down my character into qualities. And I want you guys to write on a piece of paper right now, and then we're going to share about it. What qualities of your personality do you think create the character that is most going to appeal to your ideal audience? Because it's not all of you. For example, you can play a game. Those of you who are artists, okay, or those of you who are in business, there's definitely competition out there, right? There's definitely other people doing it, right? There's other people who are super successful and you want to model yourself after. What are the qualities you see in them? And then I'll come back to the question of what are the qualities that you believe your ideal audience wants to see. So Lisa, just because I know you and we only have had one coaching session, I'm just going to single you out. That's okay. We only had one coaching session. So I'm really putting you on the spot here. What are some qualities that you feel really pull you or are attractive to your ideal audience?
That they have a big budget and confidence.
They got okay, that's about them. That's interesting because that's about the audience you're trying to attract. What about you? What do you think are qualities that you possess that attract people to you?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the people that I'm
No, but I like that. That was awesome.
Because they always have such like a wicked setup, and I'm like, they've got like a whole crew doing their videos, For me, I wrote down kind, goofy, and creative.
Kind, goofy, and creative. This is so great. So are you guys all starting to see that there's kindness, goofy? So in your posts then, you want to show that you're kind of funny and a bit goofy and playful and creative. Why do you think that appeals to an audience?
Well, I think
to be able to kind of embrace a sort of like energetic fluidity and flow, we kind of need to be ourselves and have that kind of creative freedom to be ourselves. And I think artists enjoy that, not too much rigidity, right? Because if we have too many walls, we don't let that kind of flow of creativity come through. So, and it's just natural. I'm just a goof naturally. So I wrote that down. Yeah.
Awesome. Jacob, what are 3 qualities that you believe your audience really want to see in you?
So I wrote down kindness, passionate, and inspiring.
Kindness. Okay, this is so good. Kindness, passionate, and inspiring. I'm really a mess. So maybe you guys are starting to see some adjectives that you are as well. Julia, what are some qualities that you are, that you know attract your audience?
Julie.
Oh, Julie, sorry. My eyes.
I'm also cooking at the same time as I'm doing this. Okay, so honesty, truth, this is what my clients want. Knowledge, and be able to articulate, my knowledge in a way that they get. And
so who do you need to be to relate your information that way, your knowledge? Who do you need to be?
Clear.
That was awesome, because I really had to get you to be clear. I love it. So who do you need to be is a really great place to start. Do you see, Julie, how that really worked?
Yeah.
Thomas, who do you need to be to attract your ideal audience?
Yeah, so I wrote humorous, authentic, and also inspiring.
Okay, this is so great. So when we get really, really specific with this, and you start to think about who you need to be. Now, I didn't start with who you are, because that requires a much deeper dive. I'm going to go there today with you, but we're starting with who you need to be, because we're starting to project ourselves into the audience that's listening. We're saying, well, if I'm humorous, if I'm inspiring, if I'm deeply authentic, if I'm caring, if I'm clear, I'm listening to all of your adjectives right now. That's what my audience tells me they want from me. Now, how do I know that? How do you guys know that? Is because the first type of audience that you're trying to attract is yourself. And you probably like those qualities yourself. The audience that is out there in the huge millions of followers that we all want aren't really where we should be starting. We're trying to start with ourselves, talking to ourselves in an interesting way. Is it clear to me what I'm saying? Am I authentic, Thomas? So great. What does authentic even mean, Thomas? What do you think that means?
Yeah, I think it just means being not trying to be someone you're not, kind of coming back to your original point of finding out who you are, right? Like you're not trying to put on a show, or if you are putting on a show, it's embodying qualities that you represent, as opposed to trying to copycat or be someone else.
So great. But here's a full circle on everything you just said to just dissect it a little bit further. Because again, are you an artist? I see a keyboard. Okay, yeah. Good.
Yeah, it'd be funny if I just had a keyboard for a prop.
I know, it's like, why do you have a keyboard? That's kind of cool. So we've never worked together before, so stay with me here. I'm going to actually pull you up on to, why don't we just join each other, and then I can have more of a conversation, because we've never actually had a coaching session. So the reason why I do these free coaching sessions is a little different than how Julie found me or a few other people found me, because there's a lot of sort of business coaches that do this. I obviously want your business, okay? There's no question. So that is the same. But here's really why. I really want you to get a sense of what a coaching session would be like with me. This is not just an information session. Does this make sense to everybody? I really want you to experience it. So consider this, Thomas, that to be authentic, what you said is completely true. We don't want to copycat other people. right? We don't want to imitate other people. We want to know who we are. But how are we going to know who we are? How are you going to know who you are? See, it's a trick, right? It's a trick. It's like, well, but I am already unique because you're a person. You're a human. There's no other human created like you. You're the only Thomas, you know, that your mom probably said, Thomas, we're giving you the name Thomas. Here's the thing. So let me ask you a few deeper questions. To really be authentic, for everyone, write this down, and then Thomas and I are going to have a very authentic conversation. But first, consider that to be authentic, the thoughts in my head, the feelings in my heart, and the words that come out of my mouth must be the same. I'm going to say that again. The words in my head, the feelings in my heart, and the words that come out of my mouth need to be the same. And I came up with this on my own. Obviously, we all read books. We're all on a pursuit of happiness. We're all trying to figure out how to influence other people. You know, we're all in business to attract our ideal audience. But I told you the first part of your audience is you. So if we have a thought in our head that's different than the words that come out of our mouth, it's going to sound inauthentic. Would we all agree with that? So now I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, Thomas, that you're going to give me the answers to. If I were to ask your mom broad stroke adjectives when you were born, young kid, were you energetic or lethargic?
Energetic.
Were you athletic or kind of clumsy?
Athletic.
Yeah. Were you an optimist or a pessimist?
Optimist.
Okay, great. So you guys are starting to get that your nature is who you are always. Write that down somewhere. Your nature of who you are is who you are always. And we're kind of born that way. There are qualities that we are born with, and they're usually broad stroke qualities, kind of like I was just asking Thomas. So Thomas, I'm still going with you. So broad stroke qualities, you guys are starting to figure it out. It could be creative. One of the things that Lisa was saying was being creative. Versus people who like certainty. So let's call it certain or uncertainty. Some people are more adventurous. Are you more adventurous, or do you like certainty, comfort, Thomas?
It's kind of I started with certainty, and then I kind of started to, I guess, not enjoy it as much. And so now I'm becoming more adventurous.
This is very interesting. So this is now not an always, but something that we have learned. And this moves very nicely into our second category, which is your nurture. So our nurture is life. It's your family, it's your friends, it's your teachers along the journey. So it's not just in your early childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, but it is currently today as well. You know, there's a great saying that who we are is a product of who we spend time with. I'm sure you all have heard that. So who you are, just look around you. Again, your audience is you. So your friends that you're spending time with right now are a reflection of you. So Thomas, if I were to say the people that you're spending time with, I'll just bring it to the now because it kind of makes sense. And you just said, I'm really asking myself to be more adventurous. Why? Are you hanging out with more people who are adventurous?
Yeah, without getting too much into it, like I'm in finance as a career, basically. And so I'm surrounded by very like certainty, like, you know, by the book, let's go. And then on the artistic side of things, it's, you know, going to open mics and like, you know, being around people who are embodiments of the creativity side of things. So it's kind of like, to your point of I'm kind of playing in both circles, I guess, a little bit, in terms of who I'm playing myself with.
This is very interesting because you're in finance and you said that financial people like certainty, but the successful people in finance like uncertainty. They take higher risks. So finance is a very interesting thing because what we get asked, what is your risk tolerance? Okay, in finance, right? This is a really good thing to start thinking about around being authentic for all of us here. Because what is your risk tolerance in finance is very clear. And the people who win the most are willing to lose it all. If they give you $1,000 and they go for it, or 100,000 or $1 million, right? Go for it, put it in the most risky thing you possibly can find. Their reward potential is higher and their loss is higher. So really, this little conversation for you should be in all areas. Do not look at risk tolerance as only, this gets back to what I just said to everyone about it isn't what you do, it's who you are. What you do in life is just an expression of who you are. So you're looking at them as two different worlds, but I'm going to suggest that they're the same.
Fair enough.
And who you are should be throughout. And so you're going to measure risk tolerance for getting at open mics. How prepared am I? Right? That helps me feel a little more certain, right? If I'm going to go with certainty to uncertainty, but I might not know who's in the audience. So that's uncertain. Is everyone following me right now? There's a measure of certainty, which would be preparation. How prepared am I? How ready am I? Have I practiced? Have I gotten a coach like me? Have we worked on the songs? Have I got a cool guitar player that I actually want to be on the stage with? I don't want to just do it on my own, because that builds more certainty if I'm not alone. But then the uncertainty can be like, I'm ready for a bigger audience that doesn't know me. Certainty, I'm only going to perform for people or present for people or go into business with people I know. Certainty. Uncertainty. Okay, I'm building my confidence. Okay, I'm ready for some. Would it be smart to go here with, the only $1,000 that I have to my name? Would you ever invest it in uncertain things? High risk? If I said, here's my life savings, Thomas, go save it for me. And you would be like, I am not going to do that. We're going to go here, right? Would you? So at what point do we move to uncertainty then? At what point in the financial world are we going to go to uncertain and higher risk with disposable income? Because you've already done the certain. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
So now that I'm asking you that, now we're into nurture. What are some of those sentences that you might say to yourself that really move you to taking on more risk, getting ready to share yourself? What's a sentence that you could say to yourself?
Like, am I confident enough? I think could be part of it.
Question. That's a good measure. Do I feel confident enough to take on more uncertainty or a higher risk opportunity right now?
Yeah.
How do we build confidence?
Practice.
Boom.
Practicing. Preparation. Just, also meeting people and getting feedback as well. Getting training like from a professional coach such as yourself.
Yeah. Even showing up to these things, because you know why I created these things, Thomas, and for those of you who don't know me very well, is that I was really kind of bored myself with just teaching singing coaching. I realized that people wanted bigger dreams, bigger goals, bigger opportunities, and they were just coming to me for a singing lesson. And I realized, but you don't even know who you are to know how you want to sound in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? I have to know who I am before I can even utter a singing lesson, write a song, produce a song, release a song. That would be for all of you the same. If you have a product that you want to sell, you're creating merchandise, whatever it is. If you don't know who you are, how do you know how I'm selling it and who I'm selling it to? Make sense? So the third thing, Thomas, we said nature. We kind of figured that out. We got nurture. We're definitely moving towards uncertainty and certainty, because you're right. That's flexible. Some people like more adventure in their nature. They're usually like the people who become race car drivers. They're usually the people who become professional athletes. You should know that people in their nature have a need for speed. Boom. They will go towards it in their life, in what they do. Okay? And if you want certainty, it's very difficult to be an entrepreneur. It's very difficult to start selling yourself as an entrepreneur if you want certainty. You have to get comfortable with uncertainty, higher risk tolerance, and then be able to play that game. The third thing that we were just talking about here is to choose who you need to be. And that's, to me, where life gets very interesting. So write it all down. The third part of who you are is to choose who you are. Because the majority of your audience doesn't know you at all. And we're talking to them as if they do know you, and it comes with all that backstory of who you were, who your nature was. Maybe you were bullied, maybe you were put down, maybe you were told by your family, your friends, your teachers, like, stop doing. My grandmother told me, be content with being average. Stop being extraordinary. Boom. We came from depression. She did not like that I wanted to be a singer. She couldn't understand it. She was like, please just get a job. I actually had a job at a bank, Thomas. That's why I've kind of singled you out. My only job in life was at 19. Okay, I went to an arts high school. I studied musical theater in New York. I had terrible vocal problems. And I came home and an ear, nose, and throat doctor said, you'll never do 8 shows a week. Done. Yeah. I'm a great singer now. Okay. Fuck that guy. That guy, if I had listened to that guy, everybody, I wouldn't be the singer that I am.
Yeah, fuck
If I
him.
had listened to that guy, there's my nurture. If I had listened to him, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing with you guys today. Do you see? If you listen to your nurture, the people who are you're around, boom, we are sabotaging ourselves. Okay, so moving in from that, my grandmother said, oh, get a job at a bank. So I did. And then she was like, stay at the bank. It's a good job. Am I relating to you, Thomas, right now? It's a good job. Maybe you shouldn't just do it as a hobby. And then I went to Humber College for music, for jazz. And a teacher said, I see you running around. I had 5 part-time jobs and put myself through school. 5 part-time jobs. My parents would not pay for any more entertainment-related anything. And a teacher actually said, what is the one job of these 5 that you really see a future? And I said, the bank. And he said, I think you should quit it. So I did. I did, but not because he told me. It was a seed that was planted. Okay, so what I want us to all look at is our nurture, the people around us, are giving us clues, information, planting seeds. It's up to us if we're going to water them or not. Right? So that ENT who told me you'll never have a singing career, that seed was planted. I could have nurtured it, got off the bus, and worked at the bank. But then another seed was planted, you see, to go to a music school, which I said yes to. Then this guy said, I don't know, maybe you got to give up one of your jobs. And I decided to water that seed. And that seed, and this is also, so next month in our mentorship program, Thomas, which you would really love, I'm doing a Secrets to Success program all around business. Because if you saw where I live and how I live, you would think, she's in music, how did she do that? So there's a lot of things that I learned from my grandmother, that same grandmother, to save my money, to invest in things. I'm actually a really big investor. So I invest, and that's how I kind of supplement the music side of what I do. Thank you for playing with me. Were you feeling like you were on the spot? It was so awesome. You were so great. Thank you. So listen, to us all, I want to just really go through those 3 things right now. Just take a pen and just write down right now these 3 things. Who are you in your nature? This isn't always. This is not flexible. This is not when I'm around these people, I'm this way. And when I'm around these people, I'm that way. This is in your nature. I am always. In my nature, I am very creative also. So that allows me to be a problem solver. So those of you who that is not in your nature, you want to move it to who you need to be right now. In your nature, maybe you were the kid who always said, why? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Do you know those kids? Were you one of those kids? Curious. Curiosity could be in your nature, but then in your nurture, people might squash that down, you know? Hey, Richard, like, don't ask why so much. Do you know what I mean? Like your nature, your teachers, your parents might go, stop asking. So you're like, oh, now my nature got squashed and it got removed. And I want to awaken it in you right now, because if you're not curious, you will not learn. If you're not creative, you're not going to be a problem solver. And you cannot be a creative industry. You cannot be an entrepreneur without those two qualities. You just can't. There's two other qualities that I'm going to suggest you all must take on right now. And one is interested. You've got to get very interested in your audience. Very interested, not in yourself, but interested in others. And then you have to be so interesting to them when they start coming to you, when they're, watching your social media. Are what you presenting, is it interesting? Because just what Julie said was, I'm knowledgeable. I'm super knowledgeable. I am really skilled at what I do. And when I used to just sell that and think that was enough for people to come work with me, it wasn't. Because there's a lot of people who are knowledgeable. There are a lot of people who are talented. There are a lot of people who are very good at what they do. So why are they coming to you? Why do they want to stream your music? Why do they want to go into business with you? Why do they want to buy your merchandise? Why are they buying a ticket to your show? You have to take on certain qualities in the need to be and make sure each and everything you do is balanced within it. That gets Thomas to the authentic side. Because if I'm trying, okay, did I say trying? I said who you need to be. I'm not trying to be, I am. Which means that I'm going to watch that post before I put it out there and say, is this interesting? Would I be interested in that? Does this breed curiosity? Am I being creative in this? Am I showing up as funny? I think, Lisa, one of your adjectives was funny or something, right? Like humorous. So am I being humorous? Am I being the things that authentically are important to me, that my brain is saying are important to me, that my heart is saying are important to me? And then here's why we're going to move into our introduction, everybody. Is my voice reflecting it? Because if you can't speak, you are going to be screwed. And again, a couple people who are on here just took a really amazing training with a very, very good speaking coach. Like she teaches keynote speaking, and very little of the training was in how to speak. Very little. If you don't know how to reflect these qualities in the tone, the texture, the timbre, the pitch of your voice, you will never attract your ideal audience. Because it is through two things. When you think about social media, most people, oh God, most people, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me today? Every day. Most people, sorry, I've got to get another little Jimmy Badon. You should see how I'm functioning right now. I mean, this is so ridiculous because I do too many of these things. Okay, wait. Organized is clearly not one of my adjectives. Okay. But I am creative, I told you. I am creative. Okay. So if I think about, if you're watching a social media post, how do you watch it first? James, as I just pointed you out, come on here with me.
Hey.
So tell me, how are you consuming social media? Is usually this, right? So how are you making a video these days? Everyone, by the way, follow James Favron. What is your hashtag? It's at James Favron.
Yeah.
Okay, so what a great name. Like, it's unbelievable. So his name, by the way, is interesting. Is your name interesting? So say your name, James.
My name is James Favron.
Woo! My name is James Favron. So do you see how there's pitch to that? James Favron. There's rhythm to that. There's rhythm to that. Those of you who are producers, anyone here producing their own music or anything? Yeah. So a great interview that I heard was with Timberland, the producer Timberland, who's behind Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake and all these amazing things. And he said in this interview that when he's watching someone or wanting to work with someone for the first time, he listens to their speech. He listens to their speech. He listens to their speech. He listens to the pace in which they talk. Is there a pocket? Is there a rhythm? Is there any anticipation? So, James, silently introduce yourself on mute. Oh, amazing. Okay, come off mute. Okay, everybody, in fact, I'm just going to hang on. I'm just going to remove our spotlights for a second. Okay, I just want to hear, what did you guys see in James there? What were some qualities that you saw? Julie? Oh, come off mute, Julie.
Okay.
What were qualities that you saw?
He looked great, fun and amusing.
Go watch him on social media. He's totally fun and amusing. What other qualities did you see? Bukola, what other qualities? I see you smiling. What other qualities did you see?
Yeah, just like super warm and endearing and approachable.
Yes, guys, we are consuming content silently. Are you hearing me? People are scrolling. Okay, if you are physically, so to stand out, okay, we're now moving quickly into stand up because we have our foundation. I have to stand out physically. I have to be able to convey my qualities that we just determined in our posts on social media. From stage, listen, when people come to work with me, I go like this. You know I'm going to be a good singer. Come on. You know it. I don't have to sing to impress you. This is a different action. The first action is usually in our facial expressions. It's in maybe something like your hair, a hat. James wears this little thing around his throat. This can change, but your physical expression of who you are is first. Oh my God. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Physical. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Okay, your physical expression is first. This goes to, and we're going to do it right now. This goes to a singing technique that I use too, which is called plugging in. I plug in physically first. So everybody press into the soles of your feet. Just press down. If you're leaning on something, don't lean anymore. Let's get our shoulders back and press into the floor. We're bringing our head in line with our spine. So no more, this everybody that I ever work with is like this, because this is how you all are. All day long, you're in your phone, and so your head is coming away from your back. You want to start bringing it back in line. And now I want you to roll your shoulders back. Bring your arms up over your head. Pull down your hands here. Pull them down. And if you have come up with a couple of adjectives right now, if you've come up with a couple of adjectives, like maybe, sorry, boom. If maybe, let's say it's funny, okay? So I'm going to pull my arms up. I'm going to press into the floor. I'm going to say funny. Back up. I am funny. Back up. I am resilient. I don't know what the words are, so can you just say whatever words you are? Back up. I am curious. I am interesting. Now notice the words that I'm saying. There's a rhythm. I am interested. Boom. Say it super quiet. Boom. We can do other things with our hands. Anything that you want. I am, boom, like whatever it is. I am. I am. I want you to get it physical. Now lean into the camera, everybody. I'm watching you. Lean in here and say it with your mouth only. Come on, I see some people just smiling, but I want you to do it. I'm putting, yes, I love it. Lisa, that was so great. I love it. Emily, I love it more. Melissa, lean right in. Come on. Woo! I love that. So listen, how cool was that? How did that make you feel? Kirsten, how did that make you feel?
Excellent.
So why did it make, I'm going to put you, share it. What are your adjectives?
I'm creative, fun, and inspired.
Okay, so lean right into the camera and say it.
I'm creative, fun, and inspired.
What? How? I mean, totally. I so see it. I so see it. Now say it silently. Put yourself on mute and say it really loud. Good. And now say it super quiet, but on mute. So you're staying on mute. Just get really quiet. Yes. Okay, this is so great. Thank you so much. How much fun was that? Come off mute for a sec. How fun was that?
That is a game changer, 100%.
So listen, this is called I Am. And before any of you do anything, you have to remind yourself who you are, who you need to be. Might be a little stronger right now because who you are takes practice. Like Thomas said, it takes practice. Thank you, Kirsten. That was awesome. It takes practice to be great at anything. One of the exercises that I did the last time I did this, How to Stand Out, was this. We start with inspiration. You're here right now because you got inspired by something. Didn't you? You were inspired by a post that I made, probably. Okay? You heard me on something and you were like, damn, she's saying something. Not just the content of what I said, but the way I said it. Would you agree? Show of hands. Something that I said and the way I said it got you here because you were inspired. The other part of inspiration is lack. Something in you is lacking. Something is missing and you know it. Okay, so we're motivated by moving toward, here's that certainty or uncertainty, Thomas. It's like I'm moving towards something, but I'm also needing to fill something. So I'm inspired by something that's lighting me up, but I'm also inspired by kind of the confronting nature that I don't possess the level of confidence that I need. Does this make sense? I'm looking at your faces and I'm seeing heads nodding. Because to be successful is not what you do alone. You can be all knowledgeable, Julie. You can be so knowledgeable, or you can figure out how to express something in a way that taps into people's inspiration. Yes? Are you all understand? Yeah? Then we try it out. We're all trying it out today. And we start to go, I'm kind of good at this. This is kind of fun. This is good. I thought I wasn't very good at this. But when I just tried it with Lorraine and I did it with all these crazy people on this thing, I kind of got, I'm kind of good. I noticed all of you lit up. All of you started to use your lips more. All of you, your faces kind of lit up. And so where you might have been beating yourself up, like, oh no, I'm not confident. Oh no, I have a fear of public speaking. Oh no, I couldn't do that. You all just did it. And so when we try things, we get good at it. And that is where we are right now. To get great at it requires skill. You have to build your skills. You have to get really physically amazing because people are consuming in silence. So if you think that your words alone are going to do it, they're not. Are you all hearing me? If you think your music is going to do it, if your context is going to, the content of your post, the content of whatever you're creating is going to do it, the book, look, I have a book. You know what, why I'm teaching you guys this right now? I wrote this book. I put it out in 2020. I did not understand any of what I am sharing with you today. I learned this only in the last little while, that I put all my effort into writing this book and no one buys it. So I give it away for free. How many people have this or have used it? I think Bucola, do you have it? Yeah. So it's actually a really amazing book. But if I'm only selling the content that's in the book, you're not going to buy the book. I have to sell me. You're not going to buy my programs, because you can get singing lessons, performing lessons. You can even learn about public speaking from a million other people. But you're going to want to know and show up to this because of who I was on something. And you're like, I think I could learn from her. I think I could learn from these people also. I think that I can. Does that make sense? That's your nurture. That's why we choose our nurture. It's not just that the person is the best at it. It's because of the way you are inspired that leads you to try, your willingness to try, your willingness to experiment and learn. Learn that skill of physical. You get good at it. To get great at it requires skill. Got to learn it. How do I get excellent at anything? How do I get excellent at anything? Does anyone know? Cassidy, how do you get excellent? I'm going to pull you up here, Cassidy, because I've never worked with you and this is kind of fun. First of all, what are your adjectives? I am
quirky. I'm kind and accepting and authentic.
Kind and accepting. It's really interesting. So that's important that you relate to your audience. You want your audience to relate to you, is that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So great. So how are you going to do that physically? Can you put yourself on silent and say it silent? Wow, that was so good. Can you say now your name? So you know how James introduced himself? Hi, my name is Cassidy and I am kind and accepting and okay, all those things, but silent. It was so good. It was so good. Okay, come off me. It was so good. How did that feel?
Good.
It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of amazing how we, through practice now, through experience, everybody, we're going to get excellent at it. So I have to build skill to get great. And to get from great to excellent, I must have experience. Okay, then so we just practiced our silent I am and our introduction. Let's take it off mute now. And now we're going to get into our speaking voice. Okay, so Cassidy, can you say it? Not on mute this time, but actually in your voice. Okay, go for it.
I am Cassidy Taylor and I am quirky, kind and accepting and authentic.
So great. What do you do? What do you want to like attract? What's your service or?
I'm a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
So mainly songwriting. I love songwriting. It's it's my main thing. It's why I sing.
Amazing. So here's where the adjectives can get into your actual intro. So I would say, hey, as a singer-songwriter, I love to bring my quirky, a little bit authentic energy to my audience who really know me as caring. And what was the other?
Quirky, kind, and accepting and authentic.
Oh, and accepting. So I really find my audience is so attracted to those qualities and more. My name is Cassidy. So I might reverse it. Instead of, hi, I'm Cassidy, I might say, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter. I don't need to say my name a lot of the time. Does that make sense? So I'm going to use the adjectives in what I do and the relationship from the audience to me. I'm going to say that again because this is really important. In the work that we're going to do, Cassidy, there's a program coming up called Learn to Speak Like a Star. and you definitely want to take it. Okay. And I'll tell you more about it, but here's why. Because the way you introduce yourself is going to tell this immediate audience, the audience that know you, so your friends, your family. How many streams do you have right now?
Right now, I think my EP is at 50, 60K.
That's awesome. Okay. So before we get any real data validation, everybody, so listen to that. So if I go from good to great, great to excellent idea, right? If I take you on that journey, I'm inspired by writing songs. I'm inspired. I want a career in music to, oh my God, I'm kind of good at writing songs, right? Like I love to write songs, you said, and you really lit up. And I see that. It's like, oh, I'm good at it. I notice that I'm really good at it. How do I go from good to great is building my skills, building my skills. If I take that also now into building the audience, I'm going to say, well, by good to great, I'm starting to release my music. I'm starting to get an audience at great, right? I'm starting to get that 50 or 60K. People are validated. People are actually listening. Now, of those streams, how many people actually know you? Or if there's actually some artist recognition to everybody. So this is important. What I'm saying to all the artists is that I have artists like Caris, Carys is just one example of an artist that I've worked with quite a bit, Cassidy, who has 1 billion streams, 1 billion streams, and you don't know her name. She does not tour. You don't know her. Why? Because the streaming world, just like the followers, anybody who has 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 followers on any social media platform, those are just numbers. But how many of those people, we should all be asking ourselves, are your real fans? Are people who know you, Cassidy? So your ability to introduce yourself right now is going to be very important because you want to know, how do I get those 50,000, 60,000 people who have been listening to my music somewhere on some playlist, maybe while they're at work, while they're doing their homework, while they're just hanging out, right? And I got to get them to be my fan so that they're going to show up to my show. Do you know that I also coach Elijah? Are you in Canada, Cassidy?
I am, yeah, Ontario as well.
Okay, so do you know that I work with Elijah Woods?
Yes, yeah.
Here's a perfect example. He worked those streams, bajillions of millions, turned down every record deal, everybody. Turned it down. Said, no, I'm making more money by myself. So all of you who are entrepreneurs, maybe you're thinking of this too. It's like, oh, I can make money on my own. Yes, you can, when you know how to sell really well what you do. Because what you do alone, the music alone, is not going to sell you. Does this make sense? It's not. It's going to be you, especially at the beginning of your career, Cassidy. It's going to be the way you watch Elijah Wood's videos. They're amazing because he's here. He's here, puppy dog eyes, and he just delivers his songs like this, doesn't he? Every video is the same, guys. Okay, for years, for 2 years, everything he sold was this. Actually, it was this. I mean, it was looking right into the camera and just singing the songs, and you would like it on silent, right? Isn't that true? And so now he's moving into excellence. See, he got great at that. And now he's taking himself into performing. And now you're starting to see different content because now he's showing the performance. But do you know that the word on the street was that those streams were not going to convert to ticket sales? So he waited and he waited until he could convert those followers, those streams into real fans. And that's going to require your personality to do that. Does that make sense to you, Cassidy?
Yeah.
It's how you're going to speak about what you do. It's going to be speaking about who you are. And so let's do this, Cassidy, real quick. Just one word thing with you. And this is what we're all going to do. And if you've taken any, oh my God, I just did it again. I can't do it. Hey guys, forget it. I can't write anymore. It's like my paper and it's all around my feet. And I'm just like, okay. So Cassidy, here's the strategy. Those artists, put up your hands if you've taken artist development intensive before. I think Bucola, you have. Okay. So in our artist development intensive, which is going to happen again in March, Cassidy, is this: past, present, future. You have to introduce yourself past, present, future, especially when people don't know you. Okay, so this is going to be like a real amazing thing for all of you to know. Once you are famous, once you are known, you don't have to do this anymore. Obviously, this is like at the beginning of your careers when you're really trying to convert people to your fan, the person that's really going to help you. It could be one person, it could be many, but here it is. What is one memory of how you got started? What inspired you? When we talked about inspiration, what inspired you, Cassie?
When I started playing guitar, I actually hated it. And it's because how I was learning. As soon as I got into learning visually and performing, that's what really inspired me, and that's what made me want to pick it up again.
Okay, and when was the first time you wrote a song?
Probably before that, like 8, 9 years old.
Okay, so everybody take 2 seconds right now and write 2 memories of a first. So in the Learn to Speak Like a Star program that's happening on November 28th, 29th, 30th, and December 1st, I am writing a full book. It's going to be almost as thick as this. This is one of the exercises. You have to know what inspired you. So Cassie's just shared 2 memories. They're memories of usually when we're young, but it could be as recent as yesterday. Something that inspired you that is leading your career to the now. So this is called past. So in the past, when I picked up a guitar, I wasn't very naturally good at it, but something told me keep going. And then that led me to writing a song at the age of 9, and it lit me up. I was able to express my inner thoughts at a level that I had never thought was possible. And now that I'm able to do it, now that I'm already at 60, 70,000 streams, I'm recognizing that where I want to go in my career is unlimited. I want to share my music with the world. Hi, my name is Cassidy Taylor, and I can't wait for you to discover my music. I can't wait to work with you. Do you see how I just introduced that? Boom, baby. Did you hear it? Woo! And I like it. See, blah, blah, blah. You got to get good at this, because the way you introduce yourself is going to be that first thing that people hear from you at the beginning of your career. I am not going to listen to your music unless your introduction is really cool, really authentic, and it tells me something about you. So I went really quickly from past, present, future. So tell me now, what are you doing right now? So we went into the past. Everyone just wrote down 2 quick memories, something that was a first. Okay, what are you doing right now? Mic drop. I love that. Thank you so much, Daniela. What is a memory right now?
Right now, I love writing songs as much as I did the day I started writing songs.
Interesting. So I love writing songs as much as I did when, okay, that's a little bit of kind of a why. Like I would call that, why do you do what you do? Everyone write down a why you do what you do. That's a really amazing why. Because when things don't go well, Cassidy, you can return to that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you don't know why you want whatever you want, when it doesn't go well, you'll fall apart. When things don't go your way, when the road gets a little bumpy, you're going to fall apart because you're going to forget why. Most of you want something, okay? Most of us as humans want something to get something, because it's going to give us something. Does this make sense to everyone? It's going to give me $1 million. It's going to, but if I don't know why I want, see, your why, Cassidy, is brilliant. Could you say it again?
I love writing songs as much as I did the day I started writing songs.
So it is not attached to an outcome. Are you hearing Cassidy's why? It's not attached to the outcome. This is brilliant why. Please find a why. This is going to help you get back to inspiration when the road from good to great and great to excellent falls apart. You're going to get re-inspired with your why, which I love to write songs. Oh my God, nobody listened to that last song. Shit, I feel like shit, I feel like crap. Like no one, no one did it. So then Cassidy's going to go, that's okay. I'm going to write another one. That's okay, because I love to write songs. Okay, but what are you working on right now?
I am working on the next project, next EP.
Next EP. So,
Mhm.
and who are you working with? Anyone significantly?
My producer, just a little bit right now. I'm mostly doing demos and sort of getting my thoughts out first into something
Okay.
before showing him.
Okay, great. So the now, everybody, what you are doing now is very important. And this is the place to put any validation if there is any. So I am currently working on my new EP with a phenomenal producer who's my best friend. And the two of us I'm able to take my thoughts, really work them from demo to finished product so that I can now I'm going to go right from my now, which wasn't very significant really. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're now included touring with someone, if you're now was like, I'm working with this big name producer, I might do that. I might say, and I'm working with this person and this person and this person. But you can sell yourself without any other, when I'm talking about like around validation with you. I'm going to say that again. Your validation, everybody, works like this. Okay? This is so silly, but it's so true. Validation is all on the outside. This is other people, data, real data, and people's names. People will drop my name. I work with Lorraine Lawson. Okay. It becomes a thing. It's on the outside. Does this make sense to everybody? But until you have that, you have to be your own validation, which means I am doing this. I am doing this. The I is super important here. I am making an EP, and look at how I'm going to talk about it on silent again. I got to light my face up. I got to talk about it like it's the most important thing in the world. I am so excited about it. Like, look at how I'm saying it. If I am not excited, I don't care what your validation is. That's boring. By the way, validation can come and go. I'm going to say that again too. Awards, streams, audiences will come and they will go. And if you are only judging yourself by your validation, you are going to fail. You will be miserable because you are again measuring yourself only against the reward and the outcome. So you got to know I'm lit up now. So I've got a past, I have a present, which I'm working on this EP, and I love it because we're working on the demos and da. And then we're quickly going to go to future. So when are you putting out this EP?
Hopefully next time, next late 2024.
Okay, great. So part of this journey of your intro, everyone, because everyone's going to write their intro and we're all going to share it real quick. Everyone's going to, and it should be about 15 seconds. Okay. That where you're going, the future is actually the most important part. So how I got started, what I'm doing now, where I am going is really important because that is asking all of us in this room right now to get invested in your future. Now, Thomas, if he's still here, is a financial investor. I need to have money to invest. But the reality is investment is also time and effort. You don't always need everyone's money. At the early part of your careers, if you are trying to sell a book, I would give away the first 1,000 now. The next time I write a book, I'm going to give away 1,000 copies for free. Do you know how the majority of people get to be New York Times bestsellers on that list? Because they give them away. Gary Vee gave away 250,000 books of his Crush It. 250,000 books, physical copies, to 250,000 people he knew. That's how he got on the New York Times bestseller list. You see him as this social media giant, but it started out by giving away books to people of influence. It is a phenomenal way. You guys can't, why do you think we give away our music for free? Unfortunately, this is just the reality of where we are in the world. We give away. Who was that? Gary Vaynerchuk, whatever. He's like this marketing dude. Pretty cool. I would definitely follow him if you don't. I think you'll get a lot of insight. But almost everybody who writes a book gives away X amount of copies in order to push their number to be the New York bestseller. And we, in our little amateur world, because trust me, I'm an amateur in the author world. Okay, this is the only first book, and I've written some ebooks and things since then. I'm like, oh no, but the content of this book is so great. Everyone's going to want to buy it. So now what I would do if I were selling a book is I would give away 1,000 copies, and I would ask everyone to give a review. And you have to do that too. You have to find your validation in your ability to sell people into your future. And if you have hesitation about your future, why am I going to invest my time and my effort? See, it has nothing to do with money. This is an exchange of time and effort. So Cassidy, when you give your intro now, you're going to ask all of us to be on your journey to the future with you. So sometime in 2024 is too random. Like, I don't know where that is. I don't know when that is. I can't put that in my calendar. But probably in your intro, what I would love you to do is to say, I'm releasing this in 2024. And along that way, I am building my audience so that 2024 is the best year ever for me and my fans to build a deeper relationship. I would go to the relationship to the audience. All of you can do that. Whatever field you're in, stop trying to sell the song. Stop trying to sell yourself as the songwriter and start really selling your deep commitment to building the relationship to the audience. Right? Because you don't have the audience yet. Does this make sense to people who don't have an audience? So until you have the audience, until you are selling the thousands of books, until you are selling your products, your music, which will happen, I have no doubt, Cassidy, no doubt. We have to sell this mass mentality. So there is a psychological thing, which we all know. We go to concerts to feel it, right? We go to rallies to feel it. We go to parades to feel it. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's not so good. But there's a human nature. We want to feel the energy of other people. And so if you can, all of you, what I'm saying right now is gold. If you can, in your intros that you're going to write, sell us right now on the journey, the relationship, the building of the audience, we will jump on. We will jump on your rocket. Does this make sense to everybody, what I'm saying? Yes? So, because we want to be where other people are. Has anyone ever been to a mall and you see a lineup outside of a store and now you want to go into that store, don't you? It's like, why is there a lineup? What about the nightclub? There's a million nightclubs around, but the one that has the lineup is the one that everyone wants to go to. If you're looking for something to eat, do you go into the restaurant that's empty or do you go into the restaurant that's full of people? Yeah, right? Heads are nodding right now. So until you can create it through validation, like I sold 1 million, that's real data. You don't have real data. You got to fill the restaurant with people. And right now we're going to sell the dream of filling the restaurant with people because we don't have a restaurant of people. You got to sell the dream that people are coming to my restaurant next year. And you guys are going to want to be there because it's going to be so good. Okay? So we're building the excitement. So Cassie, you're on the spot. Are you ready? I'm going to put you on full spotlight and you're going to introduce yourself. Well, everyone is going. Get ready because I want as many people to do this as possible. Okay? So we're going to come online now and we're introducing ourselves and getting a little coaching around. So here we go, Cassidy. Take it away.
Hello, I am a singer-songwriter and I love writing songs as much as I did the day I started. Right now, I am working really hard on another project, another EP. I'm really excited to take you on this journey and show you the experiences that I've had and put them into songs and put them into melodies that you can also sing with me one day. So I hope to share that with you in 2024.
It was so good. Okay, who's up? Bukola, go for it. Bukola, you're
Okay.
up. Wait,
Hello.
boom.
Hello, my name is Bukola, and I am an acoustic R&B singer from Vancouver. I started singing when I was 9 and bought my first guitar from Toys R Us at 13, and I've come a long way since then. Recently, I took a risk and I came to LA, and I've been living here for 3 weeks, making my sophomore EP, and I'm really excited to get to share the music with you all because it's music that I love, and I can scream from the rooftops about it. And it's coming out early next year, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
Woo! So great. Daniela, you ready? Want to do this? Just come off mute. No? Emily, you ready? Oh, Daniela, you ready? Oh, go for it. Go for it. Emily, go for it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Small. I'm a singer-songwriter from Cambridge, Ontario. Right now, I'm working on songwriting and co-writing with upcoming artists. I love writing music. I'm working on getting into the studio to record my songs.
Yes, awesome. So good. Okay, just to before we continue this, I'm just going to go remove spotlight. Okay, so listen to some of these. Okay, you guys were all so good. Here is some things that we're noticing that we have to really deal with. One is our pitch. So my daughter takes Chinese lessons, and it's so funny because there's 4 tones in Chinese. It's like ma, ma, ma. It's like so ma, like it's so crazy. In English, it's the same. If our pitch goes up at the end, how does that make you feel? Oh my goodness. How does that make you feel? It's a question, isn't it? It becomes a question. I'm unsure. Cassidy, when you see this back, I'm doing I did not record. See, James, I didn't record, but I'm trying to put this to YouTube. So hopefully you guys can watch it on YouTube. I am hopeless at anything to do with technology, but I'm trying my best. So what I noticed with Cassidy is that, Cassidy, you were kind of looking away and then kind of looking back. You will notice that, remember that silent thing, your eyes. Oh, Isla, it's so great that you're here. I just saw you. So listen, where your eyes go, your voice goes. If your eyes go up, it is a neuro-linguistic programming. Has anyone ever studied neuro-linguistic programming? Actors study neuro-linguistic programming. When your eyes go up, it looks like you don't know what you're talking about. It looks like your brain is searching for the answer. So in acting, if someone asked me, like, where do you want to go for dinner? The first thing I'm going to do is, okay, it's an acting trick. Please don't do it because you're trying to sell yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know as a singer, if I'm going up, my eyes go up, it's going to affect my larynx. Okay, on a physiological level, it affects the larynx. So this is why public speaking is so important. It is physical. It's physical. It doesn't matter how much I believe that I'm awesome. See, this is that authentic Thomas. I might believe that I'm awesome, but the words out of my mouth are not sounding awesome. Does this make sense? I might believe it. I know who I am. How come I really know who I am? I wonder why no one really understands who I am. I really wish, I don't know. I'm such a nice person. I wonder why, no one gets it. Well, guess what? Because your jaw's too tight, because your voice is monotone, and you sound like you're bored. Okay? So the interpretation of the listener is you're boring and bored. Those aren't the adjectives that you want. Your authentic self is saying, I'm screaming with excitement. I am so excited. How come no one knows that I'm so excited? Does this make sense to you guys? Boom. Okay. So physical first, please. Physical first, please. Not what is in your brain. That will come second. Got it? Who else is up for this intro? This is so great. Okay, Julie, go for it. Now I'm jumping around and I'll probably forget people, but here we go. Go.
30 years ago, I self-recovered from bulimia, and I was so happy. I just got on with my life. 10 years ago, I was on a training course to be a high performance coach. I was chatting away to a psychotherapist. She told me, you never, ever really recover. I couldn't believe what she said. I'd already recovered for 20 years. So I decided to create my own program, which I have done for the last 10 years. Now, my clients call me the recovery alchemist because of the transformation I've caused in their lives. So, and they're always begging me to write a book or to make a course that would help more people. So watch out. It's coming in 2024.
Oh my God, that was so good. Woo! Oh my God, that was so, so, so great. Let me just tell you something. But watch out. Guys, this is why doing this as a group is so fire. Okay? Listen, I'm an awesome coach one-on-one, and Julie, clearly you're an amazing coach because you're getting results. You used many things that I just told you, the tools. I can validate through my audience. My audience tells me, brilliant language, write it down. My audience says this about me. This allows it not to be so boastful. This allows it to be more digestible. It allows you to have validation before the actual validation. So if we use my little circle, let's use this, like another little circle, and say the audience. So this is actual validation, like fact, data. Then we have the audience, then we have ourself. Does this make sense? Just as a visual to put to what Julie just did? Watch out. Bukola said, excited. These are words that are going to cause a call to action. You got to find a way of doing it. Yeah. Those of you who are taking the performance boot camp on December the 10th, this is the same type of thing that I tell every artist. Please do not say thank you. It's so effing boring. Find a more interesting way to thank your audience. Don't just say thank you for coming. Boring. Don't come out on stage and say, how is everyone doing? Boring. Find, like, how did you start, Julie, your thing? What was your first sentence?
30 years ago, I self-recovered from bulimia.
Yeah, so like this is a validating story. This is the past, present, future. Julie did it perfectly. Past, present, future. By the way, you could reverse the order. Don't feel it has to go from past, present, future. It could start in the now to the past to the future. It could start in the future. One day, all of you are going to see me perform at Wembley Stadium. And that day is coming, everybody, because next year I'm launching the camp, and this all started when I was a little girl with a big dream. I'll see you there. Do you see? I just did that in 5 seconds. Would you not want to buy your ticket? Would you not want to follow me on social media? Yes, but I went from future to present to past. This is really cool. This is really cool. Okay. JRH. I love it. Are you ready? Because you put up your hand earlier. Okay, JRH. Here we go. Go for it.
I'm going to introduce about my actual name, which is Nilo Carter. So I'll just start over. Let me get into character. 1 second, guys. Back. What's up, y'all? My name is Nilo Carter. I'm from Toronto. I'm your favorite rapper. And honestly, like, I love music because I actually dropped out of school from being a pastor. And now I'm a rapper. So, shit, man. If you want to listen, come on. Join along for the ride. 2024. We went in for August 19th because I signed a bad deal August 19th, 2019. I learned my lesson. Now we got some shit to talk. Let's go.
Okay. This is very interesting. I gotta just, that was so cool. So first of all, what is your artist name again?
Nilo Carter.
So are you on social media?
Yes, as Nilo
So
Carter.
can you change your name right now and put the @ symbol?
I was looking for how to do it.
So you just go under your participant and then you can change your name. Okay, this is really important for those of you who want us to follow you on social media. Can you do that in the chat or by your name and just put your, your handle? So what I love about community here, Niall, is that this is that small audience that is a little bit different than just your family and your friends. Do you know what I mean? It's like this little community of LVS is kind of important. There's some artists on here who are in our mentorship program that can talk to you about that. So you could reach out to James if you want. He's a really cool rapper. After this in the Val, you know that I work with Roy Woods.
Yeah, I actually met him earlier. So another thing that's random, like I'm really big on creativity. So right now I have a gallery in the AGO. So
You?
I have, yeah, my photos are in the AGO right now. So I think I'm the only rapper in the city who has art in the AGO, like aside from like what they do and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna take it to the next level too. So
James, could you guys connect somehow? Because I bet there's an overlap here. James is a designer.
I just said to follow. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
We'll
so
connect for
guys
sure.
really start like each other. So I also work with a rapper named Akintoy. Do you follow Akintoy?
I actually went to a show 2 weeks ago. It was the best. Yeah. My friend was saying it was the best show that we've seen in College Gambino, like Kendrick Lamar.
I cannot take any credit for it at all, because I worked with him last year just a handful of times, but he has come on our programs also. So, I'm not the only coach here. I have multiple coaches, but I also bring a lot of guests because I know that depending on what we're all doing, we want to learn from other people. So Akintoy actually came on an ADI class, I believe it was, my artist development intensive class. And he shared how he also dropped out of school. He was going to McMaster University for business, and he dropped out in order to really pursue the music thing. And you're going to find that people who are doing something now is not where they started. Okay. That's why this introduction that I am trying to teach you guys, past, present, future, this is going to rock your world everywhere you go. You are going to stop asking people what they do. Hey, nice to meet you. What do you do? It is such a boring question. Like, don't ask people what they do for a living. That doesn't tell me who they are.
Yeah.
Say, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
¿Qué te pasa? Who speaks Spanish here?
Yeah.
¿Qué te pasa is a greeting. It's not, how are you? How are you is the worst thing that you could ask someone in a greeting.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you don't really care. You don't really want the answer, do you? You don't have the time. You're just passing by and you're like, hey, how are you? When you come on stage now, the next time you perform, this is how I want you to introduce yourself. And everyone write this down. We're going to do this in the performance boot camp on December 10th. If you haven't written down December 10th, do it. It's all on my link tree. Okay. And we're all going to show up. If you live in Toronto, it's at the supermarket. If you're online, you can also it's in hybrid program. So I run it both. And as you can see, I'm very interactive. Like, to me, this whole lecture thing is boring. You will learn more from each other than you will from me, because you're going to hear yourself in each other, and you're going to hear the words, like Julie's word, like watch out. I'm going to steal that, Julie. I mean, that's brilliant. Watch out for this. Watch out for the future. You can really borrow from each other, everybody. Like, seriously, as a real form of inspiration. Remember, we said inspiration, good, great, excellent, unbelievable. Where we all can go in life ultimately is not just to stand out. The next level of standing out is to be memorable. If you really want longevity, if you really want a career, what you do is going to evolve. What you do is going to change. And you're going to hear this time and time again. Do not limit who you are by what you do. That is a limiting place to be. And get unlimited with giving yourself permission to take who you are anywhere. Anywhere. I am not different with my children than I am with you, than I am with my friends. I am no different if I'm standing on a stage and performing than whether or not I'm having a coffee with someone. That is authenticity. That's called being authentic.
Yeah, 100%.
right? So we want to be authentic. We're gonna follow you, man. You're really cool. It's
Thank you.
awesome. Really exciting. Okay, who else is up? Richard, want to try it? Want to give a little introduction?
Sure. I'm a
Go.
singer. My name is Richard Mack. I'm a singer-songwriter retelling my journey in life through songs that uplift and inspire hope.
Wow, they uplift and inspire hope. Who's your audience right now?
I honestly don't know. I'm just like getting back into writing music after about 10 years of not touching a guitar.
So that's kind of important to me to your introduction.
Hmm.
And I'll call that something called, here, I'm going to put myself beside you for a second. So why did it take you 10 years?
Just my journey in life, kind of walking away from certain things and then laying that down and trying to figure stuff out, and then just coming back to kind of my roots, and just felt it was time to pick it back up.
Who relates to this part of Richard's story? Who relates to this? James, you have to relate to it. It's like the same, you know? It's like, that's more interesting, Richard, than the stock intro that you gave. Although the intro was nice, but I think I call it dealing with objections. Anyone who's over 25 and pursuing a music career has to answer what they've been doing. Does this make sense to everybody? Because if I go to your social media, how many followers do you have?
Like 250. I've got a YouTube channel with about 1,000. But
Okay.
it's not even music related. It's car stuff.
And do you have any music out yet? Okay.
No.
So this is all, I got to answer the obvious elephant in the room.
Mhm.
Does this make sense to everybody? Write down your elephant in the room. Everyone has one. Maybe you have multiple. You know, maybe you have multiple, but we gotta deal with it in your intro. It's like, after not picking up an instrument for 10 years, just forgetting what really inspired me, I decided to pick it. Like, why did you pick it up again? Why?
It's called like a spiritual experience.
And do you want to describe it, or are you going to see how you're kind of smiling? It's sort of
Yeah.
funny. It's like, I kind of want to know more about that, but then I'm like scared a little bit, like, to know about it. Okay. So what is the spiritual experience? Should we ask more questions?
Yeah, I just like walked away from like my faith in life, and then kind of God chased me back. So that's kind of the core of it.
So this is interesting. You're very, very interesting. I bet you're a person that people have to ask a lot of questions to get to know. Am I right? Yeah.
James can confirm, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You know each other? Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Rich has been one of my best friends for like 12 years.
Oh, this is so great. Listen,
Yeah.
this is like therapy, right? Like, what we're doing right now is
He's a
full
beautiful
on
human
ass
being.
therapy. And I'll tell you something, Julie, I am with you on the holding people to who they were. I hate that. Like Julie's business. Do you guys remember Julie's intro of being told you will always be? No, you are not. You can reinvent yourself. I believe in the American dream. Okay. I love the American dream. You know why? Well, a lot of it I don't like, but here's the reason why. This idea that people came on a boat and risked everything to start a new life, that people can come to a new place and shake it up and kind of convince people around them that there's somebody else, that they're new, that they are not being held to their past. Your identity, all of our identity, is so much more than what you are told it is. It is not your ethnic background. It is not your sexual orientation, and it is not your religion. What it is for you, Richard, is the awakening that the religion gave you. It's not the religion we're attached to. We are attached to the awakening, isn't it? That's inside the personal place that it has taken you. Do you see? Your identity is that in which is now new. So I had lost it and I am found. People love people's stories of overcoming.
Mhm.
People love a story where someone overcame a fear, overcame an illness, overcame a trouble, a conflict, and for you, and then we're tapping into now inspiration, which, by the way, I would add to your introduction another little tool that is so great. Okay, I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to pretend I'm you for a second. Hey, everybody. It's so great to get to know all of you a little bit better. My name is Richard, and after a long time of putting music to the side, I had this incredible awakening to find music again. And maybe that's happened to you. Maybe once in your life, you let something super important go. I'm telling you that the music that I'm making is for you. And I can't wait to share it with you.
Love that.
Boom. Do you see? Because when you start saying you, so remember I said I am.
Yeah.
On the other side of I am is you. This is for you. This is for you. Because without the you, we have no audience, everybody. We're just doing it for ourselves.
Good.
Okay? Which is fine. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't do it for yourself, you shouldn't be doing it. And if you don't love what you're doing, don't share it. Period. End of story. If you don't love what you are saying, what you are posting, how you are saying it, do not post it. Don't release music you don't love. Okay? Because someone told you to. Don't sell something that you're not totally believing in. Yeah? But do it for yourself first. Like light yourself up, for goodness sakes. You know what I mean? I love it, Richard. Awesome. Thank you for playing along. You were terrific. Isla, you want to try this out? Are you still here?
Sure, I'll try it.
Boom. Go. Is everyone okay that we keep going for a little bit? This is quite fun. Okay, go for it. Oh, sorry, I'm going to take you off mute. Off spotlight. Richard, I'm really just boom. I'm so not good at all this. Okay, Isla, here you go. Go.
Whoa. So, hi everyone. I'm Isla Maria. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Ontario, Canada. And I've been singing since I was just a little babe. I think the reason I started singing was my dad, and I've been singing with him since I was so young, and still to this day, he comes with me everywhere I go, and he plays guitar with me, he sings with me, and that's the reason I sing, and that's the reason I think I'm so inspired in the music industry, and then I really want people to connect to the stuff that I make, because I feel like the more realistic your music is, the more you want to listen to it. And I hope I can connect with my audience, because when I listen to music I connect with, it's such a game changer for me. And I really hope I can bring that to other people.
Awesome. Okay. So it's so great. You said about 5,000 things in that. And so now you're going to listen to it back, and you're going to find a way to only share a couple things. So this is important. Remember, how many adjectives are you? Who are you? What are the adjectives that you came up with earlier?
I am funny. I am bubbly. I am inspired. And I am, sorry, I'm trying to think of the word.
Those are good. Let's use those three for a second. So this is for everybody. How many memories did I ask you guys to come up with? How many? Two, of which we might only share one. What are you working on right now? Like
in music?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a couple songs on the go, and I'm just mixing and mastering them, and
I love it. And you're working on your skills, right? You're working on you. What is the shame in saying, I'm working on myself right now? I'm working on me so that I am so ready to share who I am with the world. That is a really good want. It doesn't have to be a tangible thing, it could be you, right? And then I love the first memory of your dad playing. That's a story. That's a memory that I think is really cool and will set you apart, that my dad loves to play music with me. So that would be a memory I would absolutely grab. Then I would be grabbing on, I am working on my skills as a singer, as a songwriter, so that I am so ready to take on the world, build my audience, and just do this for the rest of my life. How long did that take me? Boom, by the way, that was a drop the mic too. How long did that take me? 5 seconds? So guys, your intros can be very short and still equally powerful, Isla. So powerful. So let's work on it in our one-on-ones. We can do that one-on-one. Okay, real quick, because I know that I said that I would I know that I said that I would, wrap this up around 1:30. So obviously, I want you guys to keep working on you. I really do. I want you to keep working on you, and I want you to do it with me. So real quick, do you have that link, James? Which link did I give you for the Learn to Speak Like a Star? So write down these dates. I'm going to send you an email right after this. Learn to Speak Like a Star is sort of a cheesy title, I realized, but it's really about public speaking. It's going to be around who you are and how effectively you can share who you are, what you do, why you do it, and who you do it for. These are real skills. This is not just content heavy. You got to practice. You got to find the right answers that are going to light you up and practice them. So we're going to do that over 3 days. And then on December 2nd, we're going to practice like this, giving that intro and answering those frequently asked questions. If any of you really are going to work with a PR person, if any of you are going to start selling something, you're going to know you're going to have to give interviews. There are frequently asked questions in every business, and they're very similar at the beginning of your business, in the middle of your business, and when you're launching something. Okay, so they kind of move like that. It's sort of at the beginning of your business when nobody knows you, to, okay, I know you and trust you, but now I'm selling something today. Okay, they're frequently asked questions. We got to get very good at answering them. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on December the 2nd. We have a mentorship program. It's a 6-month commitment where you're going to work one-on-one with me 2 times a month, and you're going to work as a group like this 2 times a month. We'll have industry guests on, like Akintoy, okay? Will come on. I've had Anna Sophia, who's a pretty huge artist that you guys can check out. I get publishers or whatever the group kind of needs. Maybe it's a PR person to come on and talk sometimes. So we'll have industry guests in and out of that program as well. And then you get all my programs included for the 6 months. So you can either pay by a program, one program at a time, or for 6 months, you can have access to all the programs. Okay, it is so cheap, I can't even tell you. There would be no obstacle in terms of money, because it's either $375 a month, $375 a month only, or right now it's going to be under $2,000, no tax. So you're actually going to save $500+ because no tax, just 9. So the link, no tax. Because I live in Canada, we have to charge tax, which is a drag. Okay, it's also Canadian funds. So for those of you who are not in Canada, it's really cheap. We have people on it from Florida, from LA, right across Canada. And Julie, we would love to have someone from the UK. I'm working with a couple of people from the UK as a coach, which is kind of fun. And I'm working with someone from Brazil right now too, which is really fun. One of the neat things about online world is that you can find people like Julie, maybe you didn't even know you had a problem. But, oh my gosh, she's on a program like this. And it's like, oh, I could really benefit from working with her. Lori, we didn't get your intro. Do you want to give your intro real quick? Because I know you worked on it. Let's go. Give your intro.
I'm a little thick, so forgive the voice and my body. I used to feel like I was a victim of life and my experiences until I went on my own personal soul journey and did a deep dive about why we're here and how to live a soul-led life. I'm Lori Ellen Miller, and I'm the vessel and voice of my soul. And I'm here as a speaker and doing workshops, helping others with their spiritual and emotional awareness.
Very intriguing. Lovely. Thank you for sharing that. And you see, it's right in alignment to what we were doing today, Lori, isn't it? It's just so in alignment what Lori does for people, because people are starting to realize that our identity cannot be dictated on the outside. So just like I said, this was validation of real data, real facts. Then this is your audience, the people you surround yourself and your nurture, and this is you. I can reverse that and say who I am can be found in the people that I'm intimately spending time with and eventually my larger audience that don't know me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's the same. And I'm just doing it in circles so you have a visual to it. And you want to start really seeing yourself as a self identity that is connected to everyone. You know, we're a little bit like the Borg. Did anyone watch Star Trek? I'm such a, yeah, I am such, right now I'm watching Invasion, which is really a horrible show if anyone watched it, but I was really a Game of Thrones person. I mean, if Game of Thrones could just keep going on and on and on forever, I'd be so happy in my entertainment. But anyways, I love sci-fi. So here's the thing is that we are all connected, all of us. But we are individual as humans. The human is the only living thing on the planet that even questions who we are. Every other animal and living thing knows exactly who they are. But the human being gets all messed up and confused. Okay? So how are we going to figure out who we are? How? By really starting to train. Like Lori's services, like what I'm doing. All of you are on a mission, and the mission is so simple. I am here and I want to go there. That's really all life is. Whatever happened to me in the past has no relevance. I can reinvent myself. I can hold on to my past and say who I am is the product of my past. I can hold on to that. And no one would think anything of it. They would agree with you. And I am going to challenge you and say, but you can choose something else. You can choose and you can build your skills to get excellent at something. And if you want to get to that memorable level where you want to have legacy and longevity, it requires being undeniable in who you are, undeniable in your skill level, and unstoppable against every obstacle that is holding you back. That's the only way. And those are skills that you can develop too. So those are two ways of us to keep working together. And then I told you, for those of you who are performers, the Performance Bootcamp is included in the mentorship program. And there will also be a link sent out for that too, which I did not include in this email, but I'll send another email about that. That's December 10th. And that really helps prepare us till the end of this year. If any of you, like me, set out on this year with real goals, you're probably around now going, did I meet them? Did I achieve them? Did I say what I was going to say? I do what I was going to do. I actually played a song that I wrote about that. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Anyway, we all have this measure around this time of the year where we go, is 2023 what I thought it was going to be? And did I do what I said I was going to do? And so let's not wait. You could wait for 2024, but I'm going to suggest that you dive in. And it's not expensive. So money is not the excuse. However, I will add a little disclaimer for the people who don't know me. The music industry will take every dollar you throw at it. Julie, I don't know you well. And Lori, I don't know you well. And I don't know, Richard, and I don't know many of you who are on here. But here's the thing. Your dream, you can keep throwing money at it out of desperation, or you can find that inspiration that we talked about at the beginning and find the right people. Because otherwise you're throwing money at something that you're not ready for yet. Does that make sense? You got to know who you are first. You have to light yourself up first. You have to love what you're doing first. You have to invest in yourself first. Does this make sense? Okay, great. You are awesome. Thank you for being with me today. Mwah! Look out for this email. I think James is going to send it out, and I hope to see all of you very, very soon. Bye.